Started. Just for everyone joining us, in case you haven't been here before, this is Community Manager Office Hours, meaning I'm the Community Manager. I'm available in my office to speak to you. And you can ask questions or you can relay feedback that you just want to make sure someone's seen and heard for about the next hour. The chat does have a 2-minute delay so that I don't get too far behind on questions, but we'll bump that up and down as needed as we go. Ask your questions again in the text Ask DCUO chat, and I'll answer them in voice. One Z wants to know when we can get another 2x Ancient Coins weekend. It's a good question. I am sure we'll do some more of those and similar stuff like that, but those probably will be surprise announcements the week before. So I can't tell you when the next one might be. Magnificent wants to know what it'll take to get the Magnificent as a title. Good question. I mean, we're always adding titles, so it might happen. Could be a thing. Venom asks, will we be getting any more movement modes? Possibly. It's definitely possible. It takes a lot of our resources to create them, so they're not quite an easy let's get them out thing, but we do like doing them. We'd like to do more. Touch of Death wants to know if we will ever do Friday Night Legends again. Maybe. Probably not a weekly show, but maybe some one-off tournaments or that kind of thing. Would you like to see more streaming? Let us know. Blue Red Blur wants to know if there's a plan to get a DLC before Stats Matter or Water comes live. So it's pretty tough to guess just because we're not going to rush the stats revamp. It's going to take as long as it takes. We've already taken a lot longer than we originally expected because we went back to the drawing board on a lot of things, which you'll see a lot of that on the test server today. So it's hard to say, but we are planning our next large content release, which may be after the stats revamp and maybe before, just depending on how it works. Super Patriot asks, when is PvP Season 4? When will we see new token of merit feats? And what is the average wind speed of an unladen swallow? I think the answer to all of those questions is about the same. Do you mean a European PvP season or a European token of merit feat or a European swallow? Or do you mean an American? I'm just curious. Or is it African? What's the quote? Now I gotta look up Monty Python. We do not have any dates to share for any sort of PvP updates. That's going to be after the stats revamp is fully out the door. We have no plans at all for token of merit feats, but I'm going to note down that you would like to see that count increased and whatnot. And I'm going to leave the swallows to other people. You will notice that sometimes there's a pause between one question and the next. That's usually because I am making a note of something in my little notepad. Jacob Dragon Hunter wants to know, will powers like Cryofoam return back to gadgets during the 1.3 revamp? No, we have not added back any of powers, I don't think. But we'll have full details there later tonight once the server unlocks. Look for each power specific testing feedback thread. Green Arrow EUQ wants to know, can you give us any info on emblems in future time capsules, maybe speedster emblems or emblems based in the Chinese Zodiac? Chinese Zodiac is a pretty cool set of emblems. I like that idea. I'm gonna note that down. I can't give you any info right now on future emblems except to say there is another awesome set of emblems in the next time capsule, or there should be, assuming things don't change. Light FX wants to know if we'll be able to make the time capsule emblems from the first time capsule glow before we kind of implemented that ability to blingify your stuff. We talked about that this week actually, and it's an idea we like. We just got to figure out how we would best do it. Mr. Muzzy asks, any plans to bring Mongol in a DLC? No plans right now. A Lair build asks, there will be leaderboards for PvP and PvE this year? Question mark. Possibly. No immediate plans, but this year is a long time. We just started, so it's hard to say. I will note the request. Onesie asks, will the EU and US servers be merging? No. Superman Prime asks, we are getting revamped to improve gameplay. What about the cosmetic improvement, like more lair themes, League Hall themes, skins for sidekicks, other stuff like that? I mean, we love stuff like that. So I'm going to take those all as requests from you for things you'd like to see in future content and capsules and marketplace, etc. Lady Lightning asks, will we see Constantine again? I love the voice acting. I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance we'll see Constantine again, but nothing immediate to share. Is that your favorite character in the game, Lady Lightning? Vens asks, will any gameplay go back to being similar to 2013 because of the revamp? Some things will be similar in that there won't be advanced mechanics really getting in the way of things. Some things will not be similar because we're moving forward. All of those details are available in the testing feedback section of the forums if you want to read through the different full announcements. The LQ DCUO asks, any chance for more Valentine's seasonal base items this year? Not many new base items this year, though they're fairly nice. I think we have 7 or 8 new items this year, and that's all that's planned. Especially for art assets and that kind of thing. Those were done 6-7 months ago, so it's not something we can rush just a couple more in there because you want 10 instead of 7. But if you have suggestions for next year, I know we were actually doing the planning for next year's Valentine's, so if you have any ideas, get them in. LightFX asks, can we get a Flash emblem, Bizarro emblem, Zod emblem, etc.? More emblems to do with DC instead of Zodiac stuff. Sure, you got it. More iconic emblems. Nicola asks, are we gonna get flip-flops as a feet style? Well, not planned. There are sort of some sandals, right? There's some like Amazon style sandals. But you want actual legit flip-flops because, right, that's what superheroes wear. Makes sense? Got it? Raygun is asking about the cave base not rendering water. I do not have an update for you on that yet. I think you asked this question last week and it's still something I noted there. So yeah, we've got it. Blazing Bacon asks, can we see a more competent Booster Gold, i.e. Booster Gold Volume 2 level? Competent Booster Gold, that just doesn't make sense, man. I don't know. Blue Red Blur asks, will we have new time capsules with the Valentine's event and new time capsules with spring event? The plan for time capsules is about 9 weeks in between, so that wouldn't really line up too well, but we do not have a Valentine's time capsule coming. I can say that for sure. We'll have a time capsule, after that. It's not exactly spring themed, but we're still finalizing the details there. Touch of Death wants to know if there will be big changes to hard light in the stats revamp. Stay tuned. Light is probably one of the next powers up next, and to see for yourself. It'll look much like the changes to the current 6 powers have looked. Jacob Dragon Hunter wants to know, a lot of people have requested a hard light material. Any chance we can see this? That's a cool idea. I'll note that down. I don't think I've seen that requested before. Nerd of Prey just snuck up on me, scared the crap out of me. Snuck into my room. But she's not mic'd, so you can't talk to her. It's fine. Matan asked if there are problems connecting to the game through Steam right now. Yes, there are, and we're working on it. The team is working on it as we speak. If you launch the client directly or use a non-Steam client to log in, you will be able to get in right away, or you can wait. We'll fix it as soon as we can. Curious asks, do you see the game becoming more open world in the future instead of having it be so instance-based? There are so many wonderful iconic places like Wayne Manor and Smallville, which are not in the game. Well, I mean, they are in the game, but I guess they're not open world in the game, is what you mean? And are you going to expand on exploration someday? After all, it is an MMO RPG. I mean, I think we all value open world a lot, love it, love the cities, love adding the new zones with new content for open world activities as opposed to just instances. But I wouldn't say you should expect, a gross diversion from, what we're doing now as far as lots of instances and some open world. Venom, I did already answer that. We do not have plans right now for more movement modes, but we like more movement modes, so we'll see. Jupiter Tonins asks, are you guys planning to put material boxes to the marketplace, including the most recent ones? No, we are not right now. Timeline asks, does any dev actually main as electric? That's a good question. With the revamp testing, we have at least 3 people maining as electric. I'm not sure what their live characters are, though. LightFX wants to know if we rejected date for a stat revamp. Reminder to everyone that if we had a date to share, we would have already shared it in a more widespread venue than just in the Ask DCUO. So we won't have dates to share if they're not already known. We are aiming for as soon as humanly possible, but also not too soon. We're not done. Gaz has 2 questions. Any chance of some more content with Justice League Dark, Doom Patrol, Suicide Squad? Let me look at Nerd of Prey. She's tilting her head and like it's a maybe gesture. I think she liked one of those a lot, maybe. I'm not sure. It's hard to read. It's difficult. Second question from Gaz, is it possible we can get the House of Secrets or House of Mystery as a lair or League Hall style? I will note down your request. The LQDCO wants to know if Jens Anderson will ever return to voice the characters he has voiced in the future, or in the past, I mean, in the future. Always possible, although I think we're going to recast a couple of them. We'll see. Genocide asking how drastic the changes on test are compared to last iteration. I mean, I think I'm going to have to leave it up to you for how drastic you think something is, but those changes will be up on test and readable and playable, tonight. So we'll just wait for you to make your own opinion there. Again, we are not announcing dates or months, especially for a stats revamp. That's very much, we're going to hold it on test until it's done. All right, I'm noting the request for Justice League Dark. Apparently that's a thing now. Eddie asks, could shadow power be a potential power after water? After water, everything's a possibility. No plans to share there yet, but I'll note it down for shadow. I think Headliner is explaining why he wants flip-flops. He's not a superhero, he's just some dude that got hit in the head by an exabyte. Are you dizzy? Just kidding. Okay, another question about Justice League Dark from Lingzing. We got it. Apparently, you guys want darkness and justice and leagues. And also that cartoon is pretty cool. I'm so legit. Magnificent asks, the Harley VO in the Iceberg solo is horrible. Part of her speech is off by 3 seconds. Any plans to address this? What do you mean her speech is off by 3 seconds? Do you mean like literally it's not playing at the right time, or you just mean you don't like it, you know, artistically? Green Arrow EUQ wants to know, will future episodes feature new locations like Atlantis or Thanagar? Did I say that right? Close enough, Nerd of Prey says. Anything is possible. We will definitely be going to. Vens wants to know if Quantum will have any power changes or any new powers because it's so fixed on advanced mechanics because of the time bomb. Yeah, I think that's probably a likely assumption. We'll obviously get to it when the revamp gets around to Quantum. Another Quantum question, will there be significant changes to Quantum? I mean, I think you'll see many changes to all of the power sets that have not yet released, similar to the changes you've seen to the ones that have been released. We are taking out the AMs, and in some cases that means a lot of tweaking has to go on to make it make sense again. Mr. Owl's Revenge wants to know if we have plans for style packs, materials, new auras, or the like coming to the marketplace. Nothing we can announce right now, but I'm going to note your request. Jane Denton Gaming wants to know, I've been trying to get my anniversary stuff done, but having repeated issues logging in. Yes, we are having a Steam issue. It's likely what your problem is. We will get it fixed very soon. Charmed asks, are you prepared to lay down your life to make sure Celestial isn't broken? LOL, question mark. Also, real question, is the next DLC going to be more alt friendly? I don't have any news to share about the next DLC. I think you probably have seen the new vendor discount system, which makes gearing alts a little bit more friendly. So in that way, I would expect that to continue. And I am prepared to lay down my life for Celestial, or just stand in the systems pit doing the Celestial combo motions in real life until they do what I want. Just kidding, not really gonna do that. Well, maybe a little bit, but not for that long. Warpax asks, any chance of making auras over the whole body instead of the edge only, like electricity, celestial heal over time effects? Interesting idea. I'm going to note it. Seems like that might be a lot of noise, hard to see the actual effects if you have effects going off of you all the time, but it's kind of cool. We'll note it. Blazing Bacon wants to know, will we ever have content with Morrison's Big Seven of the JLA? Also, since we have Of the Golden Age as a title now, how about some Nazi punching, JSA adventures? I mean, everybody loves Nazi punching, so I mean, maybe one day. Also, again, maybe to the Big Seven, who knows? I'm going to assume those were requests. You would like to see those. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you didn't ask about it because you didn't want to see them. OG DCUO wants to know, what powers are you guys revamping again? All of them. With the sets revamp, we're touching all of the powers. Lots more information about that is available in the testing feedback section of the official forums at dcuniverseonline.com. Alairbeld, I'm going to note that you want to see Atlantis. I got it. Jaffin asks, you know what the next 3 powers in the revamp will be? This could change, but it should be light, rage, and nature is what I have heard, but that could change in 5 minutes. So that's what we're looking at next though. Light FX wants to know, is there a possibility that the localized auras can be used with regular auras, like wear the Killer Frost aura with a white smoke aura? Possible or impossible? Nothing's impossible, but we also don't have immediate plans for that, although we like the idea, obviously, that you've seen of localized auras. The Killer Frost aura was the first example of it's just kind of coming off your back as opposed to being everywhere. And we have the Valentine's Day aura on test right now, or was on test briefly, and will be live with the Valentine's Day event, which is very similar. Raygun asked, are there any plans for more walk-ins or a queue-up system that don't require a full group, but will take you in? Getting old feats are becoming impossibly difficult. We know that's an issue. Walk-ins specifically cause a lot of problems, just the way they're set up, the way they work. But we definitely want to do something at some point to let people go into older content, especially without a full group or needing to hit the queue system. It's definitely something on our radar. Nothing to share about it right now, but we've heard that a lot from even just us playing internally. Vic asked, do you think sorcery will ever get a revamp? Meps, I mean, it's been touched in the stats revamp, so there's that. Beyond that, I mean, we're looking to expand powers and systems and stuff once the revamp is done, but definitely nothing to share today, or no plans to make sorcery a different power, that kind of thing. LQ DCUO has asked about another Aquaman or Atlantis storyline. I'm going to note that down as another request. Also, it has 3 clapping hand emoticons beneath it, so I'll note that as well. Mr. Owl's Revenge asks, any plans to add more inventory bank or shared bank space? We see this request. I noted, I think, last week and the week before. Right now, we have some technical issues to overcome before we could do something like that, but everybody likes more space, so I think that's something we'll do in the future. That has 2 prayer hands and then 1 thumbs up, so that's also very popular. I like watching the emoticons pop in as I'm talking. That's fun. Timeline wants to know if there's any chance we could reward testers for all their hard work. I mean, we try to with our being interactive and giving testers the chance to, meaningfully, substantively change the direction of the game by testing. We have some difficulties getting rewards from the test server to a live server, that kind of thing. So no plans there right now, but I'll note it. It's something we've talked about from time to time. It'd be cool to do. Headliner wants to have Nerd replace Billy Beans on the next DLC coming out, and I will not let her. I'm holding her back. Nicola wants us to make some DLC or something else where mentors are important again. Cool suggestion. I'll note it. Super Patriot says, hey, since you've never answered this question, can you give us the specific release date for Stats Revamp, Water, the next DLC, and any other release dates that you don't have but people are asking for anyways repeatedly? His question has 10 little poop emoticons. So I don't know what that says. Probably should have read that question before reading it out loud to everybody. Oh, it's getting lots more emoticons. They're not friendly. Well, the monkey, it's sad monkey though, I think. Yeah, anyway. Jacob Dragon Hunter wants to know, will we have the role exclusive styles available for everyone? Right now, the Kryptonian T3 styles and other styles are locked per role. Is there any way you can make it where we don't need to be a support role to have these styles like these? That is an interesting question. Kind of relates to other style stuff we've been doing lately. No immediate plans for that, but I'm going to look at Nerd of Prey right now and also note it down. Eddie asks, will we ever get more skins, maybe as rewards from collections, investigations, or briefings, like some of the hairstyles we've gotten? I would love an anti-monitor style skin that go with the style. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done skins. I'll note that down as a request. LQDCO is trying again. He says, any very slight cues on episode 28. And no. Well, that's any chance we get all new open world instances, and there's always a chance we'll get all new open world instances. But we are not announcing new content here today. Magic Sapphire asked, hey Maps, any chance to remove feats from time capsules? We are reviewing all the time capsule feedback. We don't have any action plans right now. Gonna see how the third one does and whatnot. But we've definitely seen the feedback on time capsules overall and on feats and whatnot, and we are reviewing it. Jacob Dragon Hunter wants to know if Celestial will have a power interaction with the stats revamp. This is the only power set in the game that doesn't have that doesn't have one. I have no idea what the Celestial changes will be. We have not gotten there yet. Jupiter Tonins wants to know, can you give us some idea what kind of new styles can we expect in the near future? Nope, no we can't. Except to say those Valentine's Day t-shirts, I think they're fantastic. Especially the love t-shirt. Benz asks, in the revamp, will combo power such as Hardlight, Rage, Celestial, will they be able to do infinite combos because of all the power unlocks? So comboing does cost power in the stats revamp, but it's very minimal. So watching Spored play Atomic in recent playtests, it's essentially infinite based on what I've seen. It does cost power though, so eventually you might run out if you are, playing for a really long time, not using soders, no controllers around. Eddie asks, will we ever see that style unlocking for the alt system you talked about last year in a stream with the guy who voices Superboy? Yeah, that was our anniversary stream, a whole year ago. That's crazy to think that. But we are still planning for style unlocking. I don't have any sort of date or time frame for that. It's definitely going to be a bit. Yekium TK wants to know, will we ever get an all-out JLA story like a bunch of different JLA members? I'm going to note that as a request. Mr. Owl's Revenge asks, why are we boosted to 230 in the event but clamped to 34 in the stabilizer duo that is related themed after the event? Just because you are. There's not really a good answer there. Most of the stabilizer events are essentially the same concept, and this was made in the same way. That's why. Ling Zing wants to know, can we see more back styles, especially wings? Everyone wants wings. What kinds of wings? Nerdify would like to know. What are you envisioning? Bird wings, demon wings, bat wings, tech wings, magic wings? Let us know. Hot wings. That would be good. That was Nerd of Prey. Are you hungry right now? Jane Denton Gaming asks, wondering if we will get more variations of totems for future events because I'm loving the psychotic pets running around my lairs and leak halls. I think that's a fairly confident Yes, we're going to have some more base pets in the future. LightFX wants to know, for the Valentine's event, will the lamp base item keep giving rewards once the Valentine's event is not live anymore? Yes, it will. Yaki MTK asks, any thoughts on new movement styles? We like new movement styles, but they are a lot of work for us, so we don't have any penciled in right now. But teleportation sounds cool, so I'll note that down. JRF and JRF wants to know, can we get some iconic weapon styles? What are you thinking? Give us your specific suggestions or hit that thread on the forums. Seems like there's a lot of emoticons on this question. Some of them are good, a few of them are not. Some people are apparently hungry for them. I think that's an eggplant, yeah. And now there's a crazy glasses guy. I don't know. Anyway. Blue Red Blur wants to know, can we have Ice Armor's aura effect without being overwritten? Now we can't have it because of max damage mod, which is mainly needed for DPS. I'm going to note that as a question for the systems team. Green Arrow EUQ asks, is experimental serum still a thing? No. You also got one thumbs down. Warpax has a suggestion for additional tabs for the bank, help with organizing as well as adding new space. I like what you're saying. I have noted that earlier. Superman Prime asks, our request allows us to distribute our 16 armories and our bases as we like, as in lift the cap of 4 per base. I think that's a great idea. I will note it down. Another vote for Atlantis from Nicola. Jupiter Tonans asks, have you ever thought of LPVE raids? We have definitely thought of it. We don't have any plans for more LPV anything right now. Jeffin asks, now that Rolex styles are available in lockboxes, can we also get the feats for those styles? That's a good question. Nerdifry says we should fix that, so we'll note that with a special asterisk just for you, Jeffin. Ellerbeld asks, it would be possible in the future to change the colors of our power animations, like green flames for fire, for example. That's a cool idea. We'll note it. It's a quest for Darkseid's eyes. Yeah, like in a jar, says Nerdifry. I think they meant like a aura or style. Are we planning to raise the league prestige cap? I don't think so. Why would you want it raised? What's your thought process there? Jacob Dragon Hunter is asking about atomic munitions getting a shield for survivability, come the stats revamp. I don't think there were looking to add or significantly change those power sets right now. Atomic especially is built without needing to shield. The whole point is you're comboing so that you don't have to turtle and not do anything. It's kind of fun. You should try it, I think. It's just me. It's my personal opinion. Akim TK asks, how about a changeable skin? Could be very neat. I'm not sure what you mean by a changeable skin. You can change your skin in your style menu if you have more than one skin, which you can get various ways. Gaz asks, any chance of style items or content based around Sandman or the Endless or other Vertigo stuff? I'm not exactly familiar with what our license holds, but I'll just say never say never. But probably not. Spac2K asks, will the flash symbol ever be available? Ever? I mean, probably. Tegan asks, can we get some base pets in the marketplace? Ginger cats, black cats, gray cats, various dogs. Why did you list out the cats, but then just say various dogs? And then monkey with a jetpack? I mean, I think those are great ideas, whether in the marketplace or throughout the game. I think we want to keep adding base pets, and I think we should add lots of dogs, but I'll note your specific color requests for cats as well. Blazing Bacon wants more features for league halls. It's hard to make your league hall a hub if people are bored with it since new features haven't been added in a long time. Good question, good suggestion. I'll note that. Gamilla4 asks, not sure if this has been asked, but what's going to happen to ancient coins when you launch episode 28? Will they remain? Yeah, so ancient coins are just for 27. When you play 27, you'll always get ancient coins. And then 28 will have a different currency unique to it. Ancient coins won't go away or anything like that. Mr. Al's Revenge is asking about skins. Is there new plans? We don't have plans right now for new skins. I'm going to note your suggestions as suggestions. Cosmic Gaming wants to know if we will ever consider a new lantern power. We have definitely considered a new lantern power. The problem is there isn't a great lantern power left that would work for both heroes and villains. So we don't have plans for one right now, but again, anything is possible long term. Protectimo, that's a cool name. Protectimo, is that from something? In SP tree, in the stats revamp, we consider not requiring 20 SPs be spent in the first two lines of the tree. That's a good question. I can ask that question to systems to see why that is or if that is changeable. Ben's asked, will you be surprised attacking the watchtower again anytime soon for fun? Yes, I did this morning, maybe afternoon, actually, on Xbox. They weren't ready for it. They didn't know what was going on. A lot of people died. A lot of people. Jacob Dragoner asks, why are we moving towards a multiple mark system again? When G47 happened, I thought marks of victory were supposed to be the final mark system. Well, as it turns out, a single mark system is a really good idea, and it was in place for a lot of good reasons. And as we've seen, not everything goes as planned. So we are going back to that. Dine Vada asks for dates, which we don't have dates for anything to share. If we did, we would have already shared them. LQDCO asks, will we go to any new instances in the short to moderate term in game? Yeah, I mean, we've got another large content release coming up here, and once it comes out, it will have new instances. And then after that, there'll be another large content release with even more new instances, and so on and so on. Headliner asked what the cooldown on a warp to headquarters being too long. Has there been any thought to make it shorter? You know, we have actually talked about that fairly recently. I'll note it. I should take Nerd of Prey to McDonald's after this. She says gross, and I agree. I don't think, if I were taking you somewhere, I would not take you to McDonald's. Light FX asks, will materials ever be able to be used for one slot on a piece of style instead of the entire piece of style? Probably not, just based on our technical limitations in implementing the system. We did look at that to see if that was possible, you know, as we started out with that, and basically it's not going to be something we're going to be able to do most likely. Eddie puts in a request for more base wall separators, as in adding your own walls and whatnot. I would love a force field. Okay. Jane Denton Gaming would like the account bond rings neck pieces that are gold. OP? No, not. I don't. Which ones are account bound? Anyway, I'd like them to be donated to legal instead of just deletable. I will follow up on that. Warpack suggests that we review our official forum thread where we ask people to see what styles they would like to see. I mean, we do, and the artists do. That's why it's there. Jacob Dragon Hunter has some very specific questions about what rage changes you might see in the stats revamp, and I'm gonna have to wait for them to be finalized and pushed to test, and we'll all see. Pirate style and parrot pet for the summer event is a request from Ling Xing. With the parrot, see, I think we should have a parrot style. It just sits on your shoulder. Charmed asked, how about a sort button? I mean, for which UI? Sort buttons are good. Need some more. Oh, for the inventory. Oh, Carius. Well, Carius is asking about an inventory UI sort button, like an auto sort. Yeah, I'll note it. Fatalstar asks for walls for layers that go from floor to ceiling. Also going to be allowed for base items to clip through the walls and ceiling. Sorry, I was noting that instead of answering the question, but we've seen that request before, and I've noted it so we can follow up on it. Corvin asked for an auto sort inventory as well. Corvin says he's very lazy, or she is very lazy. Nafanua Matagi asked, just a suggestion, it would be really neat if there was a plan we could use in the R&D station to enlarge regular base items into legal size base items. That is a cool idea. Eddie asked, could we ever get the ability to recolor power, specifically light, since me and many people would like to make star sapphires and blue lanterns? I mean, we kind of answered that earlier. It's kind of a cool idea, although it's difficult for lanterns in particular because the powers don't just change color; they actually do different things. So it might be kind of strange to just have, you know, purple hard light running around. But I will note it and let others veto or agree. Jane Denton Gaming says, can you increase the amount of amenities per base, like armories? I'm going to note this as well. Zoros asks, on test, do weapons still regen as much power as they did in 1.2, and trade powers do not have any power regen in DPS heal or tank stance? We don't have power back, but we have increased regen in this version of the stats revamp tremendously, kind of across the board. A lot of that going on, and details are on the forums if you want to check that out. Dinvada asks for any chance for new layer designs. We see this a lot. It usually comes down to just resources. Do we build a new zone for an instance, or do we build a new layer design? And we usually choose the new instance, but I'll note the request. Obviously, you have a lot of emoticons and a $sign one, so that draws my attention. That's cool. Marketplace. Proctimo is asking Radar X specifically a question. Since you're a tank, do you or would you run with any of the first two lines? Why do you think Radar X is a tank? But anyway, we answered that question earlier. We'll follow up on that. LQ DCO wants to know if there's any chance for an indigo misted aura or a life aura in the future. I'm not sure about life aura, but because that's kind of separate from the rainbow, but I think you've seen we're kind of marching through the rainbow of misted auras, so pretty good chance. SPAC 2K has been waiting for text chat to start this whole time, but we're doing voice. That's sad. People are filling him in now. I'm gonna slow chat down because I am well behind where you guys are at these days. So I'm gonna just limit the questions a little bit. When the stats revamp hits, will we be able to use AM-like loadouts? If you mean play from the tray, or pft, as we've named it, we are working very hard to make sure you still can play from the tray. You will probably want to change your loadout a bit, but part of the revamp also allows you to kind of use kind of any powers you choose and do okay. So let us know. Give it a try. Zoros says, can we have a MEPS pet for layers? I think that's a great idea. That sounds, I mean, who wouldn't? That's great. No, we don't have robot pets, do we?
Not in your layer.
Yeah. Also, we don't like, well, that's inappropriate. I won't say that. Raygun notes unattuned gear doesn't show the style name. Green color indicators show if you have it, like all the attuned gear did. Very cumbersome to remember what styles come from where if you have it. Yeah, that's a UI issue we would like to solve in some way. Don't have plans to immediately. It's a little bit tricky, but we still think having unattuned gear as a thing is worth that kind of inconvenience. Let us know if you disagree on that, though. Eddie wants bodyguards or prison officers as pets. Yeah, I mean, right now we have very limited pets. I think a lot of people requested lots of more person-like pets, and that's definitely something I'll note for the team. Blazing Bacon says, will the Brainiac ship tutorial skip option return after January 31st? That's actually, it's disabled to allow the CR100 advance to be active because of a bug we found kind of last minute. So that should be all fixed, and all the options, skip tutorial, skip to 25, and skip to 100 will be available in our next game update, most likely. Jacob Dragon Hunter asks, will we see any more standard t-shirt styles? We only have the default one. As it stands, it's not very customizable. I will note that request. Tegan wants to have a Husky or a Great Dane for a base pet. Noted. I like that you didn't just, have colors, because dogs have breeds and cats are just like, give me a gray one. Nerd of Praise is not true, but she's wrong. LQDCO asks, will episode 28 be tier 8 or tier 9? Too early to say. I do not know the answer to that question. I'm sure we will have the answer for that when we announce episode 28. Materials can be put on pretty much every style except for your skin style. Any plans to allow them to be placed in your skin style? Well, materials are essentially skins, except not in your skin. But that's still a good question, because you could be a flaming skin person if you wanted to be. Yeah, need some new skins. Will the optional CR stat clamp that Jack talked about be happening this year? I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. It was probably as a suggestion. We've heard that suggestion. We do not have plans to make that a thing immediately. Agent Guard wants to know if we can add a repair bot to the league hall. That sounds like that would be convenient. I'll note that. Only Forever is asking about playstyles, hybrid, play from the tray. How about power specialized? I'm not sure what you mean by power specialized. That sounds like play from the tray. Zoros asks, when will tests be online? Very soon. They're probably waiting on me to finish this Q&A, actually. Jacob Dragon Hunter wants tintable base items. That's a cool idea. Kimila says, follow-up question. Remember when you had Martial Reality, etc. Why did you want to keep ancient coins and remove the old ones? We would like to restore the old ones even, so that everybody has their own currency and we don't have these complications. Don't have immediate plans for that, but that would be a general wish list thing. Quantic77 is asking about open world legends. Legends PvP in the open world. I think that's a cool idea. I'll note it down. Timeline is asking specifically how Servo will get changed with the stats revamp, and I do not know the answer to that. Proxy Star has asked, can we get an increase to the base item limit? 500 isn't enough. 500 is a limit for performance reasons. So we would have to figure out a new way of getting around those limitations to increase the limit. And that's not likely at the moment. Jared wants to know, can we trade ancient coins along with other new marks for old marks of victory to finish up styles from vendors? That's not a thing that we offer. But every time you get ancient coins, you get marks of victory. Mr. Al's Revenge asked about the league hall base item limit, and it's the same thing. It's per room there for performance as well. Tegan wants a sort option on the teleporter bases mod. Yes, that's something I harp on about every 2 weeks. I will remember to do that again. Please consider making a researchable group shield potion with plans similar to the Cordian shield, Jupiter Tonin said. So you like that. You like that, being able to build a shield consumable. I'll note that you do. Eddie says, will we ever get a graphical improvements in the near or far future? Well, I think every time we do a style, you see us getting better at making cool, awesome styles. So there's that, but we're not planning any sort of overhaul of the game or that kind of thing. Jane Denton Gaming, yes, tweet me something and I will look later. Charmed wants a sort or search option for mail and base teleporter mods. Got it. Auto sort for inventory and bank. Got it. Jacob Dragon Hunter wants to know if we will ever see new content in the league hall. Seems possible. And can we get more amenities like the broker, repair bot, soda vendor in our league halls? Also something we've noted down. We've seen some feedback on that. Right now there's a very firm divide between what can go in a base and what can go in a league hall. So we're gonna maybe consider that. Ben says, do you suggest I just feat farm for a long time, then when revamp goes live and make a new care with a power I like and buy the feats? You could do that. You could also change your power set with a respec token. You can do what you want. Green Arrow EUQ asks for the Legion of Superheroes, and the emoticons are flying up. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, that one went away. That's sad. Oh, it came back. Fallen Sage asks, can we get the in-game marketplace and vault updated on a regular basis? Recycle old gear every so often while also bringing out new styles and such for a purchase. I will note your request. Warpax asks, marketplace utility belt with all bank, mail, broker trinkets on it. Huh, that's interesting. Or a trinket that spawns all three. That would be super convenient, wouldn't it? Jane Denton suggests a funhouse learn design. Light FX asks if we will see white lanterns in some content. I don't know, maybe. Raygun asks, any chance we could get the option to delete base items we already collected, or even better, transfer to other characters, as in remove from your list, I think is what you mean. That's a good question. We actually got some questions on that last week, as far as just being able to clean up your lists, as well as being able to like pull something out again. That's not something we offer at all at the moment, but I'll note it down again. When will we, Loki 4040 asks, when will we get to see water on the public test server or anything about water? Nothing water before the stats revamp is done, for sure. Forbidden Sniper asks about better organization for inventory. I think you mean like maybe tabs or something like that, which we talked a little bit earlier. It's a cool idea. We like it. Eddie asks, could we add voices to our characters rather than be silent at all times? For example, can we get male voice 1 to 5, female voice 1 to 5? Yeah, I'll note it down. It's an interesting idea. Last question from Vens. Well, more of a suggestion. For every month we are a sub, we should get cash rewards or other rewards maybe. Please take this down. I mean, you do get 500 loyalty points and 500 or $5 in replay badges, but like in-game something every single month. It's a cool idea. Well, it's 5:59, folks, so I'm going to call that this edition of Office Hours has come to an end. If I did not get to your question, feel free to send me a private message here on Discord or tweet me on Twitter at DCUO or find us on the forums at dcuniverseonline.com or, come back next week and ask your question earlier. Thank you again to everyone who showed up. The test server should be unlocking soon with the next version of the stats revamp. And remember, we've got a bonus anniversary crown weekend, so you get double on most of your crowns over there, as well as an episode sale and member discount sale going on through the weekend. So check that out. And remember, the anniversary event does end the 31st. So get done with what you want to get done this year, and then we'll be back next year. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Bye.